Welcome back to the NORL FIA GT3 series here at the wonderful Brno circuit. Not so much wonderful weather here today though, as you can see. Forecast scheduled for the weekend is very much a rainy one. So we're watching Anil Tanovic. We're just going to get the pre-stream things as usual set up, which are pretty much now set up and ready to go. And I'm sure you're going to like this one. Round 2. This time out. Last time it was Nemesis Racing that won. Anil Tanovic goes for a trip through the gravel. Last time out it was very much a dominating performance by Nemesis Online Racing driver Nemesis Racing, Valerio Campagnari, as he went the whole race cleanly, while the rest in front of him all had the separate issues, including the Bentley of McAllister and the other guys of, I'm struggling to remember, but Joker and people like that had pretty interesting starts. So round 1's out of the way. We can now focus on round 2, get ourselves reacquainted. The chat is up and running, so do feel free, as always, to talk in the chat. Anil Tanovic really struggling for grip out there. That's his second spin. He had a good time out in the Nemesis Online Racing League, F1 League. Doesn't look like he's going to replace his fortune so far. Here out, Kedshi surprisingly had a lot of speed at Bathurst despite his poor qualifying. Kevin Jacobs in the chat, man who drives alongside him in the F1 League. Here to cheer him on once again. Welcome along to the stream, Kevin. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Hope you're ready for some crazy racing. Now we've had some interesting things here. I will need to clarify that with the rulebook, but wow, Kern Joker sets the pace in his Mercedes to start us off. But there have been a few car changes, and that includes race winner Nemesis Racing. You can see he was now in a Lamborghini. If you remember the last time out, he was in the #1 Audi. Same for Chazza. He was also in an Audi. He has switched to a Renault. So that's going to be interesting. Currently, it's Galactic Skull 2 then, on pole position from Mark in the Renault. See, Nemesis crosses the line, albeit with a penalty. And the pace is coming in thus far. So Galactic Skull 2 on provisional pole by 0.6 of a second. Now, you remember Murcielago was here last time, was taken out through no fault of his own. He will look to get back towards the front, but he's 1.4 seconds off the pace on his first flying lap. We have 4.5 minutes left to go. Anil Tanovic will be coming up to start a lap, I believe. Yeah. So that lap very much off the pace for Anil, because he was in the gravel at the start of this lap. That Porsche is ever so loud. But yeah, Anil Tanovic not on the pace yet, neither is the freaking Joker. And I wouldn't say anyone past Beamer has set a very good lap yet. So anyone 7th and below, don't take their pace seriously just yet. They're yet to have a clean lap. The penalty comes out for JFD, which means he will not be improving on this lap. Nemesis Racing still out there trying to improve as the freaking Joker. An old NORL veteran comes out of the pits and almost puts it in the wall immediately. That shows you just how little traction is available to these guys in the rain right now. And Jacob says he's having an awesome game. I'm glad to hear it, man. I really am glad to hear it, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And let's hope these guys put up some good racing for you. That's a lovely sounding Mercedes-Benz powering up to the start-finish line to set his newest time. Kern Joker, will he improve? No, he will not. He will go again. Not an improvement for Kern Joker. Will it be an improvement for McAllister in the Bentley? So far, no. That he will start a new lap. Will Mark improve? No, he will not. He will improve, actually, by 0.3 of a second, but it's not enough to gain him pole position just yet. Bentley still very much on pole. Chazza up in P3. And the man finished P2 in the F1 League earlier last week, sorry, on the Sunday, of course. Now, these guys are all following each other in some pretty intense traffic. And you have to wonder why they're not fanning out. and splitting up, but they're not, so these guys very much slowing each other down, especially with the spray. We ride inside the Bentley. You can see, this is all the Bentley can see. It's not as bad as I imagined it would be, as the Renault has gone off anyway, so that problem's resolved itself. And that just gives you an idea of the spray these guys are going to be handling as we go into the race. And it does actually look like the rain is clearing up a little bit. The rain is easing. Visually, the rain looks like it's cooling off a bit. You can see it's not dry here, but it is at the top of the hill. So times could still come down in the final 1 minute 50 seconds. So Galactic Skull 2 cannot afford to rest just yet. He has to keep on with his lap. Unfortunately, we haven't got the... Can we get the splits up? We're not getting much, are we? Here are your timings right now. You can see McAllister's lap was off the pace last time around, but for right now, he's on the pace and he's on pole. Chazza 7 tenths off is the only other car within a second of these guys, so fingers crossed for these guys that they can get the best out of the track. It's very slippery and the race start is going to be very tricky for these guys indeed. But so far, the Freaking Joker's yet to set a valid time. I'd say Nemesis is yet to set a decent time. Kedshi had pretty poor qualifying in Bathurst too, so I'm not sure. The Audi getting sideways as we watch Anel Tanovic make his way around the circuit. Around they go. So Anel Tanovic is doing well. Galactic Skull 2 has not improved on that lap time. That looks like he could continue for another lap though. Is he going to continue? Let's have a look. It's definitely not on board, is it? The on board button is not on board. Well, watch the man who's on pole position. And how has he done it so far? Brakes just after the 100 meter board, the rear end getting away from him. So far it looks like he's got to the front of the car in, nice and tidy, aims for that inside apex. Bit of understeer coming from the Bentley. Don't want to use that AstroTurf on the outside of the curb though, it is far too wet right now. And you will go slippity sliding all over the place. Can the man improve on P1 though? We will watch. And this will be the end of the session, so these guys have got 150 seconds to finish their laps. If they're going to improve, it's now. Machilaga pulls over, so at least P4. And the very best is P4, and if anyone else massively improves behind him, he will of course lose that. So mainly the battle is between Shazza, Mark, and Galactic Skull 2 for pole position right now, I would say. And judging by how wide that was from Chazza, he might have ruled himself out. We're not sure. Hard to say. We don't have splits. We can't see if these guys are improving on their sector times or not. We will try find out who is the closest. Who is the closest? So it'll be Mark who will cross the line first, then Galactic Skull, and then Chazza quite a ways away. So we will watch Mark for the rest of his lap as he comes through the final sector, a bit hesitant, trying to get the power down. There's a cone in the middle of the track. He dodges that nicely. Takes out a big tyre though. That's going to cost him some time. That will have slowed down his top speed, hitting that at that speed. When he comes across the line, will it affect him? No. So no improvement. Will Galactic Skull 2 come and extend his advantage across the line? He comes now. He does not extend his advantage. So Chazza, theoretically, and judging by that, I think the challenge is over. Chazza is not improving anytime today. Will an improvement come from Cone Joker? He's got a little bit of traffic to navigate through the final sector. The traffic gets out of the way nice and easy. Speedman Black going into the pits. Cone Joker up to the line. Can he improve from P5? No, no improvement. So although the track physically looked a bit drier, it's not JFD. Well, he improved 4 seconds off the pace. He hits that tyre as well. And that's slowing these guys down when they hit the tyre like that. No improvement. Surely Nemesis Racing can improve from being 6 seconds off the pace. Last week's winner finds himself all but second to last. No improvement. The difference a week makes. And that is qualifying done. Galactic Skull 2 is your man on pole position. The man takes his first ever NORL pole. Congratulations to the Scotsman in the Bentley. Pole position for Bentley here at Brno, ahead of Mark in the Renault. and Chaz will follow in the sister Renault. So it's Bentley, Renault, BMW. As we get ready to go racing for round number 2 of the NORL FIA GT3 series. Crazy stuff happening already. So I should be able to bring up the full times. Here you go, you can see who is where and who will be signed from where. You can just see McAllister's, no one was anywhere near her, so it looks like the rain even got even more intense towards the end of qualifying there. Which is surprising, because physically, on the track, you can see it looks like it's got lighter, but I'm not sure. Regardless, very interesting grid. A very mixed grid. Last week's race winner starts P10, and Bentley starts on pole position. Going to be a good race, I'm sure. If the rain has anything to do about it, if the rain follows us into the race, I'm sure we'll have some ups, some downs, some lefts and some rights. Gareth Lennon, another former NORL racer, in the chat here cheering on and congratulating Colin McAllister on his first ever NORL pole position. So to the race we will go. While the admins are just setting that up, we'll discuss anything going on in the chat. If you guys have any questions between now and the race, feel free to pop them in. Kevin Jacobs says, hopefully we don't see a turn 1 like last week. That's very true. That was a huge accident that wiped out effectively most of the field. But given the way Brno is, and Brno's turn 1 is a lot different to Bathurst. It's a lot less sharp. So I think there'll be a lot more room. It is decreasing radius, so as the corner decreases and goes into more of a turn 2, I expect to see a few guys in the outer gravel. I'm going to put money that we'll have some guys in the gravel when it comes to that. Otherwise, I think it'll be a lot cleaner than Bathurst in turn 1. It's a lot less tricky of a track. That's a bouncy BMW, isn't it? Hydraulics out on Murcielago's BMW. Colin, looks like that Bentley is dialed in today. Yeah. The Bentley looks a lot stronger than it did in Bathurst. Saying that, the Bentley did lead for a good chunk of Bathurst and got caught in an accident. But it's reinforced with Beamer up in P6 and the sister Bentley, the Deutsche Post. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, the Bentley looks like it's happy at Brno. Renault's look very good too, though. Freaking Joker leaves the session. I'm not sure what's going on here. I might have to check with the admins. It looks like the lobby has crashed. And we might have to reset the lobby. Yeah, that looks like it's very much the case. And the game crashed.